Right, let's get the latest on this story. Karinda Jagmohan is monitoring the situation for us on the ground. Karinda, what is happening there at the moment? Earlier, we were flighting pictures that you would have taken much earlier, residents and business people alike using boats to get some of their stuff from the shops. What is the situation now?
A very similar situation. We're on the other side of the bridge now. Residents have tried to buy whatever emergency material they have, and many people are actually just walking onto this road, which is now a river on its own, to get home. This is Forbes Street, the most impacted areas of Ladysmith. I'm joined by Mr. Agata. He's carrying with him some coal, some bread, and he's going to actually go into this now, I'll say, river, trying to go home to his 4 children. Sir, thank you for speaking to us. Can you just tell me about this crisis? How bad has it been? When did all of this start for you?
These things very too much, because now, since Monday and Tuesday, for now yesterday, now coming too much. Since yesterday, no electricity, I have children, what can you do now? That's why to go out to go buy the bread to give the children. Yeah.
So you said you live just around this corner. What did you have to do to come out of your house, and how are you going to get back in?
Yeah, I can work because I don't have anything to use it to go outside. Yeah, I'm trying to work because the water is too much, very too much. Yeah.
Are you worried for your life when you're going to cross this? You even have your bread here in this package, your coal, your phones.
I'm worried. What can you do now? The children, they're crying. You want some food. You tell me, Father, I want some food. What can you do now? I'm going out here. Take these things to the things, go to check it, what can you do.
And what has happened to your home, sir?
Yeah, to my home for now, no electricity, no anything, because since yesterday the electricity cut it. Because I stay upstairs there. Down too much hot. Upstairs no electricity, that is the problem. Yeah.
Has anyone come to help you?
Yeah, if I can find it, it's fine. Yeah.
But any help from the government or anyone come to give you something to make your life easier?
Yeah, I thank God, because for now I don't have anything to do it. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We'll let you carry on there. Please, of course, be safe. Mr. Agata, he said he has 4 children. You can continue, sir. And I just want you to actually see how he is about to take this corner. You can see how deep the water is. He's carrying with him 2 loaves of bread, his phone. You can see he's going to put the coal on his head. And essentially he's going to be swimming through this very deep waters. This is one of the main roads, Forbes Street, where we hear from the residents most people have been affected by. The rain has been falling in this area for the past 2 weeks. There have been several instances of rain. Come Spo, let's see, there's a boat here that maybe will be able to help him. This boat is one that has been assisting residents. Earlier, they actually carried a group of children to safety. We now hear that more than 80 people have been evacuated from their homes or from stores around this CBD area. Look how deep this water is. It's coming almost to his chest. But, you know, he has to go back to his 4 children. He hasn't had food. They haven't had food for quite some time, and has managed now to get this. There have been meetings at the local disaster management center. Of course, disaster management operations will be led by the Uchukela district municipality as per that protocol. Spo, let's come see. Looks like he's going to get some help. Mr. Agata is going to get some help. He's going to get on that boat and get to safety. This is the boat that has been trying to assist residents, trying to assist those who are stuck on the street, just to get them to out of the area if they can, or if they don't have another home, just try and get them to and fro. It's been the situation like this for the past week as this flooding has continued. It's not safe at all for anyone to be in this water, let alone the depth of it. It's flooded the main street, so of course it's mixed with sewage water, it's mixed with garbage and whatever's in the drainage systems as well. So it's obviously a health risk as well. This flooding occurred last night when the Kliprivier, a river nearby, burst its banks, and as a result, the drainage system was unable to cope. A number of cars have tried to actually cross. Spor Ngubande will show you the nearby dealership where cars are submerged in water. And you'll see cars coming to the edge of this, attempting to cross. We were at another street where one man tried to cross with his vehicle, and his vehicle ultimately started floating in this water, and he couldn't handle the situation. He had to swim out of his vehicle that was left stranded there, and he had to call for help. That's how the situation is currently here in Ladysmith. We do understand the Alfred Duma local municipality mayor has been on the ground, and we do expect to speak to him shortly. But in the meanwhile, you can see just behind me, people are still waiting to even cross to this side. Their homes are here, but the shops are on this side of the road where they can get groceries. It's really just devastation for the people around. Fortunately, there have been no fatalities. We have not heard of any missing persons at this moment. More than 80 people have been evacuated to places of safety. There's an indoor sports complex where some people have now found refuge. Others have left to go seek shelter with their family. But again, this is not the only town that's been impacted in the situation. Sadly, we've seen other areas where there's just been destruction caused by the weather patterns over the past 2 months. And as a result, from the Premier of the province, we hear that more than 3 billion rand is needed to cause urgent or to conduct urgent repairs to infrastructure across the province that have been damaged. You can take a look at this petrol station completely submerged in water. And of course, that is a risk on its own. We're going to, of course, try and get you a view from one of these boats as well to give you a better view of the destruction of this town as it stands.
You mentioned that the area is submerged in water, and in particular where you are right now, it looks like it is the CBD. I wonder what the situation looks like in areas that are lying outside of the town. Might the situation be as bad there?
Absolutely. Especially here, the houses have been completely submerged in water. The topography of this town is such that this is a valley. The CBD is almost situated in a valley. So as it rains, all the rain is collecting in this valley. You can see here some residents. Before these guys go, let me see if I can have a word with you, sir. Or they do have to go to a place of safety. Perhaps if you come back, we can speak to some of these rescuers as well, and maybe we can actually join them on this boat. It looks like they have to go across to, I heard them say they have to get some kids that are across the other side of the bridge. But as I was saying, the topography of this town is such that this CBD area is situated in a valley, and so when the rain is falling, it's all collecting here because of the amount of water that is collecting here. The drainage system is unable to cope with this natural disaster, and you can see what has happened here. There are more residents behind us, so I'm actually going to try and approach some of them and see how they feel about the situation. I can see some residents very concerned here. Perhaps we can see here what is happening. Let's see, ma'am, if you would like to speak to us. I saw you were so concerned as you were watching over what is happening. Tell me about what you've seen over the past few days, ma'am.
Absolute chaos, yeah. Really, it is chaos. A person didn't expect this, after that dam was built outside there, everybody thought, lovely, let's start building here, what have you. Never expected something like this to happen again. It's absolutely shocking.
This has happened before in Ladysmith?
Yes, many years ago, before they built the new dam, yeah. We had the chaos like this regularly. And then they built the new dam, and Now everybody expected it would never happen again, and it's happened.
Do you think that your town will ever be able to recover from this? Are there other areas that are seeing even more destruction?
I haven't really been around that much, but I think this main town is the worst problem.
Yeah.
You know, and all these businesses, if you see those cars standing there waiting to be fixed by, you know, the businesses and all that, it's shocking.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel so sorry for these people. Really, this is a disaster, an absolute disaster.
Thank you for speaking to us, ma'am. Your name and surname?
Hayley Sonakas.
Thank you so much for chatting to us. Let's see if we can speak to some more residents as well, some who have gathered here, just taking pictures of what's happening here. So you are taking some videos. Have you seen anything like this before?
Yes, ma'am. I'm taking this video because I'm surprised on happening on the situation in Ladysmith. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me, have you seen anything like this before? What happened? Did you see the flooding? Were you impacted by the flooding?
I never see it anymore, except last week. It was some, but it was not more than that one. That's why we came and take the videos and need to show some other people, that one who's staying outside the town, to never come again in town. Yes, ma'am, that's why we do so.
Is there any help from the local government? Is anyone coming to help the people, try and get emergency food, shelter?
No, ma'am, no one came to us.
Yeah.
We are staying at the rooms. We can't move, we can't buy even a bread. We can't do anything. Everything is stopped because their shops has been closed.
Yeah.
So we suffer too much, ma'am.
Thank you for speaking to us, sir. Your name and surname?
It's Njabulo Mtagane.
Thank you very much, sir. There you have it. You know, people are just also struggling right now to get emergency relief, food, to get to them as well as just to leave their premises. Another lady actually across this bridge told us that they're also waiting to get back to work and try and just restart their lives again, to even just rebuild from what is happening. Now, the rescue boats that have been around are going up and down, and we are waiting to actually speak to some of the rescuers as well and hear what they have been doing. Earlier on, I spoke to one gentleman who said that overnight they were doing evacuations. And like I mentioned, more than 80 people have been evacuated, some children evacuated from homes, just trying to get to a place of safety. And right now, all they're doing is just trying to transport people back and forth at this point. So, you know, rescues on the ground are busy. I see one of the boats are actually coming back. So in the next few, we'll just try and speak to them. Maybe also just be able to get on this rescue boat and show you the complete view of what's happening here. We hear that Forbes Street, which is in the center of this town, really the dip in this valley, is the worst affected. And if my colleagues go, you can just actually see how deep this is, but also that around this bend is where most of the houses are. The other major issue here, what you're seeing right now, a pump station has been impacted, and from what we hear on the ground is that the local water treatment works were affected by this flooding, and as a result there's also an interruption to water supply in some of the areas of Ladysmith as well. Residents tell us there's also no electricity. So really it's a devastating time for this community as they try and recover from this. More severe weather storms are expected here. Tomorrow the weather outlook is a forecast rather clear skies, but on Wednesday an 80% chance of rain. And that's how the residents say they've been seeing the flooding, where it'll dry up at one point and then 2 or 3 days later there'll be more torrential rain, bouts of torrential rain, and as a result there'll be flooding again. So of course another major issue is just the drainage systems in this particular area. Just across us is a river, and actually as we wrap up here, we'll just quickly walk to this river so we can show everyone how bad the river is overflowing. What has essentially happened is that overnight the Kliprivier, which is one of the main rivers, had burst its banks. And so ultimately what happened is that the water overflowed to these roads. So fortunately there have been no fatalities, but as a result you can see how heavy the water is flowing. A very strong current. There have been warnings by the local government for children not to swim in these areas, not to treat it like, you know, it's a place where they can swim in because of the strength of this current, the flow of it. It's of course very dangerous at this time.
Karinda Jagmohan, I think you've done an incredible job of just trying to show us how affected that area is, and very interesting conversation you had a little earlier from the lady who says this has happened before. And the wonder right now from those who have seen this before is how long did it take for this water to completely disappear? Because as things look right now, it looks like you would have to have some kind of drainage or a way for this water to flow away from the town so that the roads are cleared. Very positive story on the one hand that you are saying that no one is reported missing and no fatalities, importantly, but obviously economic devastation is going to be the story of that town, at least for some time. Just the wonder from my end as to how long does it take for water like this, as we see it now, completely submerging that part of the town. How long does it take to disappear?
Absolutely. There's been no indication of when this water will dry up. Some residents have told us that earlier on in the week, there was similar flooding and parts of the town were again submerged in water, but this had dried up as the rain had subsided. And now the rain's also subsided again. Like I mentioned, on Wednesday we do expect more severe storms, but it is hoped by the residents that this will clear up soon, so essentially they can go back to work, restart their lives, and especially as it clears up, will the local government ultimately come in to clean up this area, sort out the drainage systems and see what ultimately is the cause of this and how they can prevent it?
Karinda Jagmohan, thank you very much. Very, very incredible job of showing us and you, the viewer, importantly, as to the devastation in that town of Ladysmith.